Welcome to the Lowdown On Ridertown with the Cedar Rapids Rough Riders in 94.1 KRNA. My name is Chad Cooper. I'm here basically every week to host this program, a weekly show every Wednesday night from 6 to 6:30 here at the Union Station. Want to thank them for having us and want to thank everyone for coming out tonight. I know it's cold outside. It's bitterly cold, but thanks for coming out, supporting the team and supporting this program. A reminder that the podcast for this show is up weekly. You can find that at krna.com, and it's also on our Facebook page. We try to get it posted about a day or two after the taping of this show, so usually by Thursday night or Friday at the latest, it's up there. A reminder once again as well that you can email questions and feedback to Coop at krna.com, so anything that's on your mind, you can shoot it right there. And also a reminder that I like to start out every week with this show is that this is a chance for us to kind of recap games that have been played, look ahead, and also get to know the team, the players, the coaches, the staff better. So we appreciate the great feedback that we're getting, and we appreciate you guys for coming out. I want to thank once again the Union Station for having us. And tonight, I'm joined by Coach Mark Carlson, as always, and also two players this week, Cal Burke and Adam Gaudette, join me. The round of applause for these guys for coming out tonight and joining us. We'll start out like we usually do. We'll run down some of the recent results for this team. We did not have a broadcast last Wednesday night because the Rough Riders were in action. Last Wednesday, a 3-2 shootout win over Des Moines, and then the weekend, a 6-3 loss at Bloomington last Friday, and then 6-4 loss to Waterloo at the Stable. That moves the Riders to 29-14 on the season, 58 points overall. That's still good for first place in the Eastern Conference. And Coach, I'll start with you there. After Saturday's loss, you had mentioned that the problem, one of the main things with this team is that you weren't really taking care of the puck. I wondered if you could go into some detail about what that kind of led into and some of the problems that that created for the team this past weekend.
Sure, Coop. I think in any sport, I think limiting turnovers is real important, and we want to be a team that makes plays and plays a creative game. But at the same time, we've got to take care of the puck and make sure we're getting it in when we have to, and so that the season is is for improvement. You go through a process, and that's kind of what we're going through right now, is making sure that we're getting better.
I'll take a moment right now. I'll start down at this end with Cal. When we have players on this program, we like to take a chance for them to kind of explain their background, not only in the game of hockey, but also just some of their background information and their journey here to the Cedar Rapids Rough Riders. So I wondered if you could take a few moments and kind of let us know your background, where you're from, and what brought you here to Cedar Rapids.
Yeah, I'm from Boston, Massachusetts, and then I moved a little out west to Boxborough, Massachusetts. And growing up, I just played mite hockey and in a youth organization around Massachusetts. And then I moved in high school. I moved over to Nobles, where I played prep hockey there for my freshman through junior year. And then my senior year, I came out here to play for the Rough Riders, and I go to Cedar Rapids, Washington High School now, and I'm loving it.
What first got you interested in the game of hockey? Was it a family thing? Obviously, being out in the East Coast, we know hockey really prominent out there. Is that what got you into the game?
Yeah, my dad played hockey, so he really pushed me to get into the game. But as soon as I started skating, I loved it. I love going fast and skate with the puck. So that's what I got.
Adam, I wondered if you could give us some of your background in the game of hockey and your journey here before you got to the Rough Riders.
Yeah, I'm also from Mass. I'm originally from Taunton, Massachusetts. Then I moved up near Boston in Braintree, Massachusetts, and played for the Boston Junior Terriers growing up and Mites. And then I played for Boston Advantage through my freshman year of high school, and I started playing for Thayer Academy, rivals of Nobles. And so I played there freshman to junior year, and then I came out here, and now I'm going to Linn-Mar High School, and I'm just loving it out here.
Did you guys have any prior knowledge of each other before you teamed up on the Rough Riders?
Yeah, a little bit. Yep.
So from foes to now teammates, how's that working out for you guys?
Working out pretty well.
And now, Cal, Adam's representing, but are you also a Patriots fan?
Oh, I'm a huge Pats fan for sure.
So this has been a good season, a good year for you guys.
Yeah, great
definitely.
season.
And Adam, what initially, brought you? What were your initial thoughts of the Rough Riders when you came to this organization?
I didn't really know what to expect coming out here, but I knew it was a bigger leap coming from high school to here, and I figured I'd take the chance, and I'm glad I did.
Cal, what's been your biggest adjustment in playing in the USHL as a league? What's the biggest adjustment you've had to make as a player?
I think the compete level that you have to bring to every game. Back in prep hockey, there's some games where you can just say, "Oh, this team's very good," and just go out there and you can kind of fool around a little bit. But every game you have to be ready to compete and be prepared.
And now you've committed to play college hockey eventually at Notre Dame. Well, what kind of factored into that choice, and why did you finally settle on Notre Dame as your college choice?
Well, first I looked at Notre Dame as an academic school. I think it's a really good school, and I'm interested in going to their business program there. Then they also play in Hockey East, so I'll be traveling back home a lot to play teams from Mass. And just the campus and the rink itself is beautiful, and the coaching staff is a real great group of guys. So, they had pretty much everything I wanted.
And Adam, you're headed back east for your college commitment. You committed to play at Northeastern. What kind of factored into that decision for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's great campus, great hockey school, and a great school too. And it's about 15 minutes away from my house, and it's just a perfect fit. And being able to play in the Bean Pod has been one of my dreams. So I'm just excited and glad I got the opportunity to go there.
I'll ask both of you guys this coming weekend, kind of a unique situation. You don't see this creep up on the schedule too much, but you have 3 straight games, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. What's your schedule and routine like when you come up on a weekend like that where you really don't have a lot of break time between games, not a rest day, not a practice day really in between? How do you go about preparing when you have those 3 in a row like that? I'll start with you, Cal, on your end.
I think one of the biggest things is when you have a couple games in a row is you got to go home and you reflect on the game a little bit, but then you got to get a good sleep and wake up and just go through your typical daily routine that day, and then just be ready to go again after that.
And Adam, how do you prepare for a stretch like this where you have 3 games back to back to back like that?
Just take it day by day, worry about the first game, and then after that worry about the second game. Make sure you're eating right, getting enough sleep, and make sure you're ready to play.
And Coach, as far as managing this team from a coaching standpoint, a practice schedule and those sorts of things, is there any modification in what you do as far as the routine is concerned when you get a weekend like this where you really don't have a break day in between, or you have to play 3 in a row like that?
Well, not too much, Coop. I think we'll make sure that we don't we kind of manage our practice time, and then just remind the guys, as we did today, that that tonight they start making sure that they're sleeping well tonight and eating well, and it's very important here a couple of days before the weekend starts.
And as far as taking off on that road trip, you guys play Saturday. When do you guys usually take off for a Friday game on the road?
Well, we're in Des Moines Friday, so we'll leave here at like 3 o'clock and buzz over to Des Moines.
I was going to ask you as well. We look at the teams here in Iowa. Iowa's pretty well represented in the USHL. We have obviously Cedar Rapids with the Rough Riders. We have Des Moines. We have franchises in both Waterloo and Dubuque, and then Sioux City. In your mind as a coach and someone who's been heavily involved in this league, what's the importance of having that strong representation of the state of Iowa for the game of hockey here in the state and also for the USHL?
Well, I think it's great. I think it's great. A lot of the teams in the state have a great tradition, and I like to think we're among those now that we've been here for 16 years. So I think it's been great for the state, and but I think throughout the Midwest, I think our league's in a lot of great towns.
I'll take the opportunity real quick here before we get back into questions with Coach and the players that March Madness is almost upon us, and the Rough Riders kind of play into that with early season ticket sales, 2015 and 2016. Season tickets are on sale right now, and there's some benefits if you buy season tickets right now for next season. For one, you get early bird pricing. Secondly, an autographed team poster. And free ticket vouchers to the last 7 home games of this season. And if you happen to be a new season ticket holder and buying season tickets for the first time this year, a free Rough Riders scarf with a season ticket purchase. So more info on all of that, and also the chance to buy tickets, you can go to RidertownUSA.com. I'll get into talking with Coach a little bit about the league expansion. We brought on 2 new franchises to the USHL this year, one in Bloomington and then another, I believe, in Madison. What are your thoughts on league expansion and kind of how this league has grown throughout your years with the Rough Riders and in the USHL?
Well, I think for the most part it's been a little bit up and down, to be honest with you. We've tried a number of different towns, and And some have gone well, and for whatever reason, others, maybe not so well. But I know that right now, just in terms of on the ice, we've got two real good teams in our division, and Madison and Bloomington are very good. So they've done a real good job from the on-ice side of it.
And is there a lot of prep work that goes into that from a league standpoint, as far as knowing if a franchisor, before you actually set up a franchise in a certain area, having an idea that it might at least have a pretty good chance to kind of hold on and get some claws in the region?
Well, I think that's what they try to do. That's above my pay scale, but I think that's what they try to do when they look at those situations.
Cal, I'll go down to you. What's been your favorite part of playing with this franchise since you've gotten here with the Rough Riders? What have you really enjoyed about playing under Coach Carlson and also just this team as a whole?
I think my favorite part is just how much Coach and the rest of the team enjoy winning. It's the best feeling in the world when we win, and it's good.
Adam, I'll ask the same thing of you. What have you really enjoyed about your playing time here with the Rough Riders?
Definitely just being around everyone. Everybody's a great guy, and it's just fun to be around, especially when you're winning. And it's been a real honor to play under Coach Carlson.
You guys both had the unique opportunity earlier this year, actually just in January last month, to play in the Top Prospects game. I wonder if you guys, I'll start with you, Cal, if you could kind of go into what that experience meant for you and what it was like to play in that game.
Yeah, it was great to play with a lot of good players, and it was a good experience.
Adam, what was that like to you?
Yeah, it was nice to just be chosen to play in that game and experience playing with different people and just play with players that are around the league from other teams.
Adam, what are some of your goals in the game of hockey and after you leave the Rough Riders and go on with your collegiate career?
Oh, just get better every day, every year, and just be able to take my level of hockey to the next level and be productive.
Cal, ask the same question of you. Your goals in the game of hockey when you move on here from the Rough Riders?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely want to go on and have a successful college career and then hopefully move on to the NHL one day. But I just want to be able to look back and say, I did as much as I could to, get to where I wanted to go and worked as hard as I could.
And Cal, do you have much of a chance to still follow the NHL? Do you have a player that you kind of look up to or admire or kind of pattern your game off of as far as an NHL player?
Yeah, for sure. Patrice Bergeron from the Bruins, of course. He's a good all-around player. He plays in both zones. He works his butt off every time he steps on the ice, and he's a great leader for the team as well.
Adam, how about you? Is there an NHL player that you kind of pattern your game off of or kind of try to emulate or look up to?
Yeah, Patrice Bergeron as well. He's been one of my favorite players ever since I was little, and I feel like I play the same style game. He's good in all three zones, good on face-offs. He'll score points, but he'll also stop goals from going in your net too.
One of the things that I kind of like to ask players, especially players that are still in high school or even taking college classes while they're with the Rough Riders, what's a daily routine like for you as a player and also as a student still to high school? Adam, I'll start with you. What's a daily routine like in your life?
Well, on a school day, I wake up around 7:30, go down, make some eggs, and I'll knock on Benny Blacker's door, make sure he's up before school, head over to school, take a few classes, get out around 11:45, then I'll go either to Chipotle or Panera or something and grab some food. Then we'll head on over to the rink and do whatever at the rink, either go on the ice early or hang around in the locker room with the guys. And then after practice, we'll either have a lift or something. If it's not too late, we'll go get food and then go home and then watch some Netflix and call it a night.
Cal, similar routine for you, or you got a few differences in what you do from day to day?
Yeah, it's pretty similar. I have to wake up a little bit earlier. I got a walking gym class in the morning that I got to go to, so that's about 7:15. But then, yeah, I go to school, head over to the rink, get some lunch, practice, and go home, work on my homework, and go to bed early.
Now, when you come to the Cedar Rapids Rough Riders, not only do you get used to new teammates and a new organization, but also in many cases a host family. Cal, what's that been like for you as far as your host family and acclimating to Cedar Rapids?
It's been really easy to acclimate into my new home. My billet parents are great, Doug and Janelle. They've They've just supported me 100% since I've been here, and they've helped me out with anything I need. I have a little billet brother, Nick, who's a blast to be around. He's a competitive kid as well, so we get into some fun games and stuff. Right now we have a pool tournament going on at home. I also live with Eric Foley and Andrew Goss, and they get in on that, so it's been great so far.
Adam, how about you? What's it like to live with a host family and get used to living here in Cedar Rapids?
Yeah, it's been awesome living with Jim and Terry. It's just they've just done a great job making me feel a part of the family, and it's been fun. And whenever I need them, they're there for me. And same with my billet brother Parker. We're always playing video games together, and it's just been really great.
I'll talk a little bit about some in-game action here. I mean, Coach, I'll ask you a question. A point of consistency for this team throughout the season has been its success in shootouts and overtimes. The Riders perfect in games that have gone to extra time. What's that say about this team, and where does that success in extra time come from in your mind as a coach?
Well, I don't know about you, Coop, but I'm still thinking about, eggs, like 3 or 4 hours of school only. And then was it Chipotle or Pancheros?
Both, sometimes.
A little bit of practice.
Yeah.
Something to eat. Netflix. Mm-hmm. I mean, that sounds like a pretty good life.
That is a good, that is a good life.
That sounds.
I noticed they didn't go a whole lot into practice, though, as far as what happens during practice.
But there's a lot of good things in video games too, right? Because that's and the Netflix.
That's a bonus too. Yeah.
It's pretty good stuff. It's great. You mentioned the shootout?
Shootouts, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that I think it's been great mental toughness by our guys this year. By our guys shooting and being able to score, and both our goaltenders, Larks and Benny, have done a really good job on their side of it by stopping the opponent. And for me, that's what it comes down to, is being mentally tough, and our guys have done a tremendous job with that so far.
And when you look throughout this season, has that been a steady improvement that you've seen out of this team from the start of the year throughout the end? I mean, they really seem to kind of step up in clutch moments like that.
Well, I think from the beginning they haven't been really fazed by pressures or anything like that. When the game's on the line or if we're behind or it's a tight game, I think they've been very, very good. And the thing we're working on is, and I know it's cliche, is just playing the entire 60 minutes and working as hard as we possibly can and approaching things that way. And as we improve with that, we're going to continue to improve as a team.
I'll ask both of you guys as players. The one thing that's really struck me from players that we've had on is there's really a camaraderie around this team. A lot of the guys hang out together. Some of the guys even live together with their host families. What's the chemistry like on this team, and how well do you guys get along? It seems like really well, Cal.
Yeah, we definitely get along, really well. You can tell because everyone's here tonight, and most nights everyone comes and watch these shows to support the players that come on. We love to hang out, do stuff together. Like go to movies on Sundays and things like that.
And Adam, do you really think that type of chemistry translates onto the ice too? It seems like you guys have been, throughout the season, really been able to gel as a team.
Oh yeah, definitely. The way we're all really close, we all just play for each other, and we always have each other's backs out there.
Coach, with the 3 games in a row that we talked about this weekend, it seems like your motto and philosophy of one game at a time really fits for this weekend. I'd imagine that would be the case. That's kind of how you approach a game like this, where you have to play teams back to back to back like that. Yeah,
for sure. I mean, it's we got to be concerned with Des Moines and getting ready for that game on Friday, and then go from there.
As far as traveling for this team is concerned, and when you take that into advisement this weekend, obviously everything's within state, but when you guys travel through some of your longer road trips, what's the type of preparation that goes into that for not only you as a coach, but also making sure that the whole team is kind of on the same page with things and from a management standpoint?
Well, I mean, just kind of trying to plan ahead, with our bus and whether or not, usually if the trip is over about 6.5 hours, usually, we'll go the night before. There's not a lot of those, within the league. So most days we're traveling the day of, and, we usually have a spot where we stop for our pregame meal on the way and just kind of get in and out of town as quick as we can.
Guys, as players playing in the USHL, a little different than somebody who might play high school sports, if it's basketball, football, or anything like that. You guys are in front of some pretty decent crowds each and every week, actually some pretty great crowds, not only here at the stable, but when you go out on the road. Adam, I'll start with you. What's that like to play not only at the stable, but also in front of opposing crowds when you're playing night in and night out, many times in front of some thousands of people?
Oh, that's awesome, just having that many people there, especially at home, that many people rooting for you, and when something big happens, like a big hit or a goal, and then they're all going crazy, it's just awesome experience.
Cal, what about you? What's that like to play in front of pretty big crowds on this level?
Yeah, it brings a lot of excitement to every moment of the game, and every little thing that goes on, you can hear the crowd's reaction, and sometimes you can use it to motivate you, or if it's negative, you can try and prove them wrong. Sometimes you don't always enjoy what the fans on the other teams are saying, but you just fight through it.
And Coach, when you guys go on the road, is there a solid contingent of Rough Riders fans? You guys have kind of a group that kind of tags along, is pretty diehard about following the Rough Riders on the road and making sure you guys have some representation when you guys go outside of the stable.
Yeah, there is. It's been real good, this year with going on the road and seeing our fans there. And in most places, I think I recall Youngstown coming out there and just hearing a ton of cowbells, and so it's kind of easy for our guys to notice. And so the support's been great.
And guys, before we wrap up here in the closing minutes, I always like to touch on the final games that you have coming up, or the games that you have coming up this weekend. In the vein that you played 3 in a row, I'll just ask you kind of the keys to success for being able to come out of this weekend and feeling good about things when you guys play 3 games in a row like that. Cal, I'll start on your end.
Yeah, you just gotta take it one game at a time, and making sure you're preparing for the one that's next, and and during the game, you just gotta focus on, working your hardest physically and mentally, doing all those little things that coaches told us to do, and fighting for your teammates.
Adam, as far as you're concerned, what are some of the keys to success as you guys go into a weekend with 3 games in a row?
Yeah, definitely taking one game at a time and being prepared, making sure you're ready. And our main focus was limit our turnovers on the blue line, so we're just going to make sure we follow the game plan.
And Coach, before I ask your thoughts, I'll touch with these players too real quick. When we like to have players on, I like to ask about community events that you guys do with the Rough Riders, and if you have something that you particularly have liked to do out in the community, and what's important to you about kind of getting out and kind of connecting with people around Cedar Rapids. Adam, I'll start with you.
Well, I haven't really done much since I'm in high school, but I had the chance to go down to an elementary school, and just it was sports night, so we just we played hockey bowling with the little kids, and they just shot pucks at the bowling pins, and it was fun to be around the kids. Some of us had to read to them. Thank God I didn't get stuck with that, but I was with the bowling, and it was just fun.
Cal, I'll ask you too, anything that sticks out in your mind as far as a community event or something that you kind of like to do out here in Cedar Rapids with your time here with the Rough Riders?
Yeah, I think we have that Meals on Wheels program. I think that's a great program for sure. I know I think everyone on the team has participated in it at some point, and I think that's just a great program for the community.
And Coach, I'll wrap up with you on thoughts on this coming weekend, not necessarily on any individual game or team, but just your thoughts on kind of the keys to success with coming out of this weekend feeling good about this team.
Well, I just think executing the things we've worked on here all week, Coop, and we've had a good week of practice here so far, and anytime we're playing, I'm excited about it, so we're looking forward to being in Des Moines on Friday.
Well, I thank all of you guys for coming out and joining us for another week here. Thanks for making the time for us here with the Lowdown on Ridertown.
Thanks, Coop.
Thank you.
Thank you.
A reminder as we wrap things up of the upcoming Rough Riders games. Friday at Des Moines, that's a 7:05 start. Then Saturday at home versus Sioux City, that also is a 7:05 start. And Saturday happens to be Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles night out at the stable. I saw the Facebook post getting a lot of likes on that. It seems to be pretty popular. Top 2 teams in the USHL will be facing off, Sioux City and the Rough Riders. And then Sunday at Dubuque, that's a 3:05 start. Reminder, the Lowdown on Ridertown, we're back next Wednesday. Podcast will be up at krna.com in the next few days. And if you have questions or feedback, you can email me, Coop, at krna.com. Thanks once again for coming out, guys. We'll see you next week.
Coop, thanks, buddy.
Coach, thanks.
Appreciate it. Good seeing you.